Coming up, we have heard about self-driving cars, but how about self-driving semi-trucks? We'll have info about some being used in Permian Basin.
Freezing temps across New Mexico, find out on my first weather forecast.
The penny, the coin that is a staple of the U.S. currency, might not be here much longer. We'll take a look down memory lane as we look at a museum about them. This and more news right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Good evening, and welcome to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Corbin Shanner.
And I'm Marcos Baltieres. Thank you so much for watching. A Clovis man accused of possession of a visual medium of sexual exploitation and bestiality has pled guilty to the charges against him. According to the Eastern New Mexico News, 54-year-old Timothy Harper was sentenced to 11 years in prison. He will also have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life and is not allowed to own or possess any animals for 15 years. Last August, investigators found Harper engaged in sexual conversations, sharing explicit photos, including photos of himself engaging in sexual activities with one of his dogs.
A Clovis police officer was arrested last week on Valentine's Day. The Clovis Police Department had a media release regarding the arrest of Officer Taylor Ward. Officer Ward was arrested for failure to appear on a traffic citation that was issued on December 29th of 2024. The warrant was issued on February 11th, and the CPD was made aware of the warrant on Valentine's Day. Arrangements were made with the sheriff's office, and Ward was taken into custody while off duty. He was then booked into Curry County Detention Center, where he paid his fine and fees, then was released. The Clovis Police Department notes their commitment to transparency and ensuring that their personnel are held accountable for their actions. State police will be conducting sobriety checkpoints, saturation patrols, and driver's license checkpoints in all New Mexico counties, including eastern and southeastern New Mexico during the month of February. It's a way that the agency is bringing awareness to the events to reduce impaired driving-related fatalities through continued media attention. New Mexico State Police say the checkpoints are helping to change society's attitudes about driving while under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs.
The Roswell Police Department has made an arrest today. Earlier today, the Roswell Police Department asked for help in locating 26-year-old Jeremy Moore, wanted for sexually assaulting a young girl. An investigation from the RPD's Criminal Investigators Department resulted in the arrest warrant that was obtained on January 16th. Previous efforts to locate and arrest Moore were unsuccessful until today. Deputies continued researching Moore and learned that he was possibly dropped off at a local dairy and was working there. It is believed that Moore saw the police cars and started to run. Deputies located Moore running at the east end of the dairy and then arrested Moore without an incident.
On Friday, the courthouse in Chavez County went under lockdown as deputies and staff frantically searched for potential threats. This followed a threatening phone call received by one of the secretaries while the suspect, Jeffrey Raymond Diaz, made bomb threats and acted aggressively. Courts who had dealt with Diaz previously were contacted, and officers eventually determined that the judge under the threat was in Bernalillo County. The Chavez County Sheriff's Office collaborated with the local ATF and FBI and arrested Diaz within the day. Diaz is currently being interviewed by detectives, and the investigation continues. You know, it's great we had an extra day on Monday, but it's also freezing today, isn't it?
Yeah, it snowed this morning. It was crazy, but it's good for moisture.
Yeah, but I wonder how cold it's going to get tonight. Jaden, can we get a quick look?
Yes, it was nice to have some snow and then flurries throughout the afternoon, but we are seeing some extreme cold. As we take a look into the southeast part of New Mexico, we're looking at a extreme cold warning until 11 a.m. in counties of Lee, Eddy, and Andrews. And then if we take a look in the panhandle of Texas, we are seeing extreme cold warning also till 12 p.m. in Bailey, Lamb, and Palmer County. As we take a look at tonight's lows, we are looking at 33 in Albuquerque, 14 in Santa Rosa, 11 in Tucumcari, 6 in Clayton, 8 in Raton, and then 5 in Amarillo. And here in Portales, we're looking at 12, 9 in Clovis. I have more on my full weather forecast. Back to you guys.
The future is here when it comes to self-driving, heavy, large semi-trucks. 2 of them are now making their rounds in the Permian Basin, Texas, and New Mexico's largest oil and gas patch.
News 3 New Mexico's Josh Gonzalez has a story from Hobbs.
Driverless truck tech company Kodiak Robotics Incorporated announced a major milestone for our partner company in the Permian Basin. According to an announcement from Kodiak Atlas Energy Solutions Incorporated, completed delivery of a material used in fracking oil exploration with 2 robo-trucks equipped with self-driving systems in the Permian Basin, located in West Texas and southeastern New Mexico. The milestone marks the first time a customer has taken ownership of a robo-truck in launched driverless commercial semi-trucking operations. It sets Kodiak apart as the first company in the autonomous trucking industry to launch commercial driverless trucking operations. The commercialization of autonomous trucks has been a goal for the industry for many years. Kodiak is the first company to make autonomous trucking a real business, and this is a major step towards profitability for the company in both Texas and New Mexico. Atlas intends to scale up use of robo-trucks in its operations in 2025. Kodiak will open an office in Odessa, Texas, to support Atlas's increased deployment of driverless trucks. For News 3 New Mexico, I'm Josh Gonzalez.
One major plus of the robot trucks is to make highways and roads safer. There are over 400,000 truck-related accidents on U.S. highways each year. Kodiak's autonomous technology can as it saves companies money, build the world's safest driver.
Firefighters in Lovington County were on the scene Monday after a pipeline ruptured near the south side of Highway 83 in Lea County. They set a perimeter around the pipeline and are monitoring as company representatives respond to the situation. People who live nearby have been voluntarily evacuated, but no other precautions are needed at this time. No other injuries are reported. We'll have the latest updates for you as the situation evolves. Also in Lovington, parts of the area of West Avenue Drive and 3rd Street in Lovington were forced to close after a driver crashed into an electrical pole near the intersections of West Avenue Drive and the 2nd and 3rd Streets on Monday. Electrical workers and first responders quickly arrived on the scene, and the roads in the area affected have since been opened up to travel again.
Friday night, residents of Roswell felt the aftershock of a 5.0 magnitude earthquake in Texas. As it shook the area at around 10:23 p.m., 5.0 magnitude earthquakes are between the light and moderate severity ratings. 3 aftershocks passed through Roswell, with initial 3.8 magnitude aftershock, followed by 2 2.6 magnitude aftershocks. The whole effects were felt in less than 5 minutes. Tuesday morning, more earthquakes were felt in many parts of southeast New Mexico, between 1 and 5 a.m., as 3 earthquakes over 2.5 magnitude took place between 1 and 5 a.m. The strongest earthquake of the 3 registered as 4.5 magnitude earthquake. The epicenter of the earthquakes was near the White City area just south of Carlsbad. And coming up after the break, Jaden will have his full weather forecast.
But first, here's a look at today's financial market.
News 3 New Mexico, I'm Jane Phillips. Let's take a look at today's weather. So in the western part of the country, we are seeing some scatter showers and some snow in the San Francisco through the Oregon area. Portland's getting some snow. As we take a look into the Midwest part of the state, we're seeing clear skies, not much rain. But as we take a look to the eastern side of the country, we are seeing some rain in Atlanta, Miami, the Florida area, and then this is all pushing some snow up in the Washington area, Carolinas area. But as we take a look into New Mexico, we're seeing clear skies right now with some cloud cover and then some spotted showers towards the Arizona border. And then here on the eastern side of the plains, we're just seeing a little bit of cloud cover and some extreme fog too into the evening. As we take a look at our future radar, we are seeing clear skies right now. And then as we progress to Friday, we are seeing some showers across New Mexico, more towards the northern side. And then here on the eastern plains, we are going to see some cloud cover and also some rain. As our current wind speeds right now, we're looking at 10 miles per hour in Raton, 15 in Santa Fe, 5 in Albuquerque, 11 in Santa Rosa, 7 in Tucumcari, Clovis and Portales both at 9. Down in Hobbs, we're looking at 9 miles per hour too. Midland at 13, Lubbock at 10, and then Amarillo in the Panhandle, 9 miles per hour. As we look at our current temperatures, we're looking at 56 in Albuquerque, 52 in Santa Fe, 50 in Farmington, 53 in Gallup. Down in Silver City, we're looking at 63, Las Cruces at 62, Alamogordo at 55, and then we get to below freezing temps here on the eastern side of the state. We're looking at 25 in Santa Rosa, 19 in Clovis, 21 here in Portales, 25 down in Hobbs, 32 in Carlsbad. Clayton's looking at 12, Raton at 23. As we look at tonight's lows, we're looking at 8 in Amarillo. Here in the eastern side of the state, we're looking at 12 in Portales, 8 in Clovis, Santa Rosa in 13. Albuquerque is going to hit 30, Gallup at 15, Farmington at 24, Santa Fe at 24 also. And then down in the southwest part of the state, we're looking at 30 in Silver City, 31 in Las Cruces, Alamogordo 31. And then Roswell at 15, Santa Rosa at 13. Tomorrow's highs, we're looking at 31 in Tucumcari, 26 in Clovis, 30 here in Portales. And then as we look at the western side of the state, we're looking at 63 in Albuquerque, also 64 in Socorro, 33 in Roswell, 34 in Santa Fe. As we look at our 7-day forecast for Roswell, 34 as the high tomorrow. And then through the weekend, it's going to be pretty chilly. And then next week, we get up to 82 in Roswell. And then as we take a look here in Portales, 29 with a little bit chance of moisture, 1%, 11 at a low. And then throughout the weekend, we're going to get to 54, 70 as a high. And the next week, we're going to hit 77, and it's getting warm.
Well, it'll be great to have warm weather for a couple days this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully I'm excited as well.
For sure.
But I'm pretty sure it'll drop right back to cold weather.
Probably. Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. The ENMU Department of Music is hosting one of their 2 annual spring concerts this Sunday. The concert promises to bring lots of joy and excitement with conductors Dustin Seifert, Associate Professor of Music, Department Chair and Director of Bands, Dr. Sidney Schufler, Associate Professor of Music, and guest conductor Dr. Anthony Purcell, Associate Professor of Music and Director of Bands for Northwestern State University of Louisiana and Natchitoches, Louisiana. To attend, all you need to do is show up. Tickets are free and the concert is open to the entire public. The concert starts with the ENMU Symphony Band at 3 p.m. and the ENMU Wind Symphony at 4 p.m. in the Buchanan Hall in the Portales Music Building.
You may have heard the news that the penny may be going away. The future of the 1-cent coin is currently in question after President Trump announced on social media during the Super Bowl that he had instructed the U.S. Treasury to quit producing pennies.
Debates about the penny are nothing new. The cent coin has been on the chopping block for years, surviving postpones from both sides of the aisle, including President Barack Obama in 2013 and Senator John McCain in 2017.
Our friends at Rocky Mountain PBS visit the Coin Museum in Colorado for more perspective.
Here at the Money Museum, we have amazing pieces of history, and we don't get a lot of interviews. But we've had a lot this week because people want to know, like, what do you mean you're taking away our penny?
The first thing to say is that there is no such thing as a U.S. penny.
We have never made pennies in the United States. We have always made cents.
The penny was produced by England, and we used pennies to start with. The cent was about the size of a quarter. It's called the large cent.
Actually changed sizes to make it more economical.
The cent now has a zinc core with a copper coating on it. So this whole idea of changing the composition to lower the values and at the same time maintaining its look, it's totally inherent in the concept of money.
There is the tool of money, and then there is the artifact of money. So I think the penny completely is a nostalgia-based object.
The cent cost about 3/4 of a cent to make just before the Civil War. 3.7 times at this point, I guess. But not to play on the pun, but
It doesn't make sense.
doesn't make sense.
It's so hard not to say it makes sense, isn't it? Australia got rid of the 1 and 2 cent pieces in 1992. Canada got rid of theirs in 2012, and we have gotten rid of different denominations that have been retired. Like the 2 cent, or my favorite is the Trime, a 3 cent piece. So cool. The Department of Defense ruled in 1980 that we would no longer be using cents in any of our U.S. overseas bases. In 2017, Senator John McCain put together a bill to leave the penny out of production for 10 years. That bill did not pass, clearly.
We have 2 different bureaucracies that produce our money. Our paper money is produced by the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, and our coinage is produced by the U.S. Mint. The people who produce zinc and all that, they can influence congressmen by lobbying them.
If you make zinc for a living, and zinc is the majority of the penny, and we're making between 3 and 10 billion pennies a year, it makes sense that you'd want to keep the zinc moving.
But I think the biggest thing is going to be nostalgia for the jokes, not worth a cent, the old sayings and things like that. What to me is exciting about money is the history behind it. I collect ancient coins, or I collect coins that are 200 or 300 years old. They haven't been made for centuries or thousands of years, but there's still a fascination in them. The economics of reality have moved past the cent, but that doesn't mean that the cent is going to be dead.
Some advocates for the penny are concerned about price rounding. For instance, the price of something might be rounded up to the closest nickel should the penny be discontinued.
The annual ENMU Drama Fest began today at noon. The festival allows both ENMU and high school students to come together and learn through a variety of fun, instructive workshops, and rewarding discussion. It offers high school students opportunities to audition for scholarships and get a look at what being a theater major at ENMU offers. The festival also gives each visiting high school a chance to perform a one-act play for the community, along with having numerous workshops, professional development for teachers, social gatherings, and networking opportunities for students and educators from every corner of the state. Coming up after the break, Lorenzo will have his full sports report for you,
including information about ENMU's impressive win against Sul Ross State on Saturday. So, stay tuned.
It's on. The mic is on.
I still don't see you.
There we go. Can you go that sports?
Are we good or not? Talk to me. Lorenzo, talk to me.
1, 2, 3.
Nope, it's not working. Check your connection.
It's on.
It's on.
Talk to me again.
1, 2.
You're on weather. Let's go.
All right, yep, I'm on weather. Into the next report, we have Greyhound basketball, and the men's basketball team is on a roll. Recently, after the neck-and-neck game against UT Permian Basin, the Hounds played off against Western New Mexico University and pulled through with a win. While Western did gain the lead in the second quarter, the Hounds quickly picked up the pace and gained the upper hand for the last half of the game with a final score of 97-70. Only a few days after the win, the Greyhounds went toe-to-toe with Sul Ross State and ran off with another win. While Sul Ross made the score neck and neck with the score of 44 and with 40 and 40, the Hounds were able to keep the lead with a final score of 97-84. This makes a 4-game winning streak for the ENMU. Now, the only question is, can they keep this momentum going? On to softball, and speaking of winning streaks, the Lady Hounds are going strong this year with a win-to-loss ratio of 10-4. While they lost the first game against Texas A&M International, it was followed up by a game with Texas A&M International that they were able to steal the win and gain the momentum to win 2 more games against Texas A&M Kingsville. That rounds out the week with a 3-game winning streak. This Sunday, Eastern goes against St. Mary's, and I'll have the result of that game next week. The ENMU Esports Valorant team played last night against Chadron State College. In the best of 3 series, ENMU won a 2-0 match. Their first match, they won by an impressive 13-0. Their second game was just as impressive, with ENMU only giving up 5 rounds, ending the game with another impressive 13-5. This brings their record 2-0, and the Valorant team plays again tonight at 8:30 p.m. against the University of Arizona. Will ENMU be able to keep their momentum into tonight's match? We'll have updates on their game right here for you next week. That's all the sports I have for you tonight, but don't change that channel because we'll be right back with Corbin and Marcos after the break, so stay tuned.
Well, we hope to see you next time.